Hey, happy Sunday, everyone. So, yeah, this will be the, I guess, last live chat for a while where we do a live chat on a Sunday because I now have my weekends back. So, yay. All right, so I will just wait for some homies to jump on in. I have my backup battery just in case, and my bottle of water, which I will have a sip now because I am a little dehydrated. All right, good. So yeah, have some awesome things. Hey, Christina, what's up? Good morning and happy Sunday. Well, kind of late morning, I guess. It's almost 11. But yeah, so I have well, a new deck to show you guys. Want to tell you the update on my own Oracle deck. The update, I finally have all the deets now for the meetup in July, and I've posted that on my Instagram, my website, my Facebook. I did a video here on YouTube just kind of explaining the 5 elements meetup. That is the name, the 5 elements. And since we are going to be working with the 5 elements, Christina said it is so hot here. Our weather's kind of been like, woo, because right now it's, well, May, and May is May gray for us. But some days it's gray, and right now the clouds have been kind of parting in the past hour, so it's like the sun's coming out and it's beautiful. So I'm like, yay, because yesterday was kind of depressing. Right now, let me get back to my main page. It is 66 degrees, which I don't believe. It's probably like 76. Like our temperature is always off by like 10 degrees. Whenever you look at the temperature, you're like, it's like, it says it's like 90. You're like, no, it's actually 100. But anyway, while we wait for more homies to jump on in, just let me know what you guys are doing for Sunday. Christina said she was inspired to order a Hello Kitty watch. Oh my gosh! I know I have Hello Kitty watch probably in the. I have my little like. It's a little box, I guess, with my other watches. It's just since I got my Apple Watch, and you know it tracks everything, like you know your heart rate and your steps and your exercise and all that stuff that I love. I haven't really shown a lot of love to my other watches, and I feel kind of guilty because it's like I want to wear my other watches, and for a while I was double watching it like a weirdo where I had this watch on this wrist and then I would have another watch on this wrist, and I was like, okay, maybe that's ridiculous, but I don't know, maybe this summer I'll give a little love to some of my other watches. But I have a couple Hello Kitty watches. One's like one of the like slap bracelet, but it's a watch and it's cool. It's from Thailand. It's a little Hello Kitty. And then the other one's like a nice Hello Kitty watch. And then yeah, and then I have a couple of my fancy watches. But yeah, well, I guess I could jump into the deets then of what's going on with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and then show you guys the new deck that I got, which I was so happy because I've been waiting a while. And there are a few decks that I'm waiting on, so I guess they'll be like summer gifts. And well, my birthday's coming up in June, so maybe like one of them will be like a June gift for myself, like birthday gift for myself. And one of them is the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and had to think there for a second. And that one is being released June 5th, so it's like 5 days before my birthday, so that's kind of like my birthday gift to myself. So I've already pre-ordered it and all that good stuff, and so I'm waiting on it. Imogen Walters had done a review of that deck because she got it early, and she was like kind of surprised. She was like, oh, because she got it from Book Depository. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, I just loved all the cards. So I was like, yes, I'm going to pre-order that. So I'm going to be getting that in June. And then I pre-ordered the Moonchild tarot, because I have the Star Child tarot, and the Moonchild tarot looks really awesome. And so I think that one is getting released in August, late August, early September, I think. And the other one is the Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantments. I think that's the name. And then that one's getting released July 13th. So I'm super excited about that one. And I think that is all. Yeah, so there's the one in June, there's the Moonchild, the Oracle of Black Enchantments, and then, oh, there was one more. And it was on Etsy. And it's one that kind of looks like, it's not the Delphi Tarot, but it looks like the Delphi Tarot, and somebody has redone it on Etsy. And I saw that deck through Avalon Cameron. Christina said she ordered the Mildred Payne and the Little Monster Tarot. Oh, the Little Monster Tarot looks so cute. I've actually been digging through all my decks. I decided to pull most of my decks from, you know, inside here and just kind of take them out and just go through them one by one and see which ones were kind of resonating with me and maybe not so much anymore, where I don't really foresee me working with them much more in the future. So I put all my decks off to the side that I'm not working with. Like there's a couple that I'm on the fence about, so they're kind of separated from the other ones that I'm like, for sure, I'm not going to work with them anymore. And so I'm just like making a ginormous collection of ones I don't work with, so that, I don't know, maybe I'll just gift them or give them away or trade them, sell them. I'm not really sure, but you guys can see that I've got, hold on, let me switch this around. I got a big collection. So yeah, these ones are all the ones that I know for sure I'm not going to work with anymore. Not that they're not awesome. It's just like, I have a lot of decks, and so I have to put some off to the side. So it's these ones, and then the ones that little stack of 3 there, that's the ones where I'm like, yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. And you guys might see, well, my boyfriend's coming upstairs now, but he's doing his workout right now, so. And he's back. All right, and so yeah, I have a lot of my decks behind me. I've been just kind of pulling them out, working with them, seeing which ones I should donate or, you know, sell, trade, give them away. And oh yeah, so Christina said maybe we can buy some decks from you. Yeah. I'll probably wait just a couple of weeks because school's almost out, and so once school's out, I'll finally have like a lot more time. And so yeah, maybe we'll do a thing here on Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Maybe I'll do like a live chat where, you know, go through all the decks that, you know, kind of like a live sell, not really auction, but like live sell, I guess, you know, or trade. You know, we go through all the decks, and, you know, you pick out the one that you want. I don't know, we could do that. That's a good idea, Christina. Yeah, so goings-ons for Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. So my Oracle deck that I am working on, like actual full-on start making the cards, begins after June 6th. Because that's when school gets out. And so there have been a few people that have been sending me their photographs, which is awesome. I love all the beautiful photos. It's photos from people's trips. There was somebody who sent me a photo of them, like from their perspective on the back of their horse, which is really cool because their sacred space is anywhere where their horse is, which I thought was awesome. My good friend, who's the opera star, she's going to be sending me a picture of the stage at the Met, because that's her sacred space, is the stage. She loves opera, you know, so so yeah, lots of good stuff. People sent me places like their favorite park they like to go to, and I'm not looking for super like professional, you know, photographics. Oh, Pixie Dust is here. Sorry. But yeah, so you guys send in your photos. You know, the more amateur, the better, because it's, you know, that way it doesn't look like somebody just yanked a bunch of photos off of Google Images and put them into a deck, because then it just seems, I don't know, maybe too polished for me. And I want my deck to have like a homey, this is real photos, comes from the real places that people love. Pixie Dust said, my fiance is on holiday in Bulgaria, good God, and he can't walk on his ankle because he went over on it. Oh, and now I'm, oh no. Well, hopefully his ankle gets better. Tell him to rice, RICE. So rest, ice, compression, elevate. That is the first aid response that we learn when we do our CPR first aid training. So definitely tell him to rice that ankle. So rest, ice, compression, elevate. Yeah, keeping it elevated just so you know, it doesn't stay swollen. Maybe take some ibuprofen, anti-inflammatories. Um, yeah, definitely. Uh, if you're gonna ice it, or if he's gonna ice it, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. You know, to help keep the swelling from getting too bad in that area. But yeah, rolled ankles suck. But Christina said maybe a splint. That would work too. um, so yeah, that Oracle deck will be coming together and start going through all those pictures, and I'm gonna start making my template on Photoshop, and Christina's so yeah, and I want to do that Oracle card journey with you guys. So as I feel like cards are pretty near completion. Not all the cards, obviously, but just like, you know, a couple of cards. Then I want to be able to show them here. You know, like when I do my live chats, or maybe I'll do like the Oracle deck live chat, kind of like Avalon Cameron does for her Bone Bash. Like she does her Bone Bash live chats, so people can be on that journey of, you know, her cards. And so I'd love to do something like that, like once a month, you know, kind of check in. These are the cards that I'm creating. This is what they look like so far. Opinions, what do you guys think? And of course, my awesome peeps over on Patreon, patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot. They're like, I'm actively asking them, like, you know, like what should be the title of the deck. And of course I want to go through all the cards with them, and be like, you know, what do you guys think? And then, you know, I'd show you guys, and because they, you know, they put money into my company, and I want them to have a say. I want them to feel like, you know, they are a part of this too, just like you guys are a part of this. So so yeah, I'm really excited to be working on that, and I got to take a lot more pictures of Wally. I got to cut him out Photoshop style. Do you have a price for your deck yet? I won't know a price until I know who my printer is going to be. Because once I know, like, the printing price, shipping costs, and all of that, like, just, you know, for the deck, like, without me making a profit at all, I want, you know, I have to learn all that stuff first. But just making the cards, I won't know yet. Not till I have a printer, and then I know shipping costs. Ploma's here. I will be pulling cards today. Yes, towards the end. Pixie Dust says she's praying she can buy one. New Age Lunatic, what's up? Yeah, I hope that, you know, it's going to be, and I want it to be an affordable price, you know, so I'm gonna be kind of shopping around looking for various people that can print the deck, you know, and I do want it to be 64 cards. That I know. I know the size of the deck that I want, so now it's just kind of putting it together, and then once it's all together, I'll start doing my shopping around and see where I can get good quality printing for a low cost, so that way the cost to people that buy my deck will be, it will be fairly low. Because I know for me, like, if I'm buying a deck, you know, what would be my price range? You know, there is a range where I'm like, it's a little too rich for my blood. So yeah, and then also coming up in July is that meetup. So like I said, if you go on my YouTube channel here and you click on the 5 Elements meetup, I go over all the information for the meetup. It's absolutely free, so no cost to you guys, although I am accepting donations. So if you'd like to donate, just kind of like for my 2 days working with everybody, gas, all that stuff, it helps. Let's see, Christina said she liked Printer Studio, but I don't think they make much money there. I will look into Printer Studio. because when I'm just printing personal decks for myself, like I'm just like grabbing images off the internet and I'm just like printing decks, but it's just for me, like obviously not for sale. I use makeplayingcards.com, but that is like, the pricing is like if I'm just buying it for myself, you know, I can't see adding a profit onto that. And then I was like, oh my God, it would be too expensive for people to buy, you know, then. Because if it's like costing me, you know, 30 some dollars plus shipping just to like make the deck, you know, and not even have a fancy box or anything, I'm like, that's way too much. So gonna be looking around on that. And so yeah, once the deck is getting close to completion, I'm definitely gonna be asking you guys again, like, hey, like, what, got any places for me to kind of shop around and look for printers? That'd be fantastical. Yes, so the meetup is happening July 21st and July 22nd. New Age Lunatic said, I wonder if you messaged Pamela Chen as she printed the unicorn for $30. Yeah, I want to, you know, I'm definitely going to be hitting her up. I'm going to be hitting up basically everybody that I know who's made decks that, you know, I follow here on YouTube, and who's like pretty cool. You know, like Kelly from the Truth and Story, like who'd she use as her printer? Avalon Cameron, like who is she using? So I'll definitely be, you know, kind of asking around. Vix from New Age Hipster, be like, you know, so I can get it to you guys for a fair price. So I'm keeping that in mind as well, because, you know, if I'm on the other end and there's a really cool deck that I want, you know, I want it to be for a fair price. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys can make it to the meetup in July. It's 2 days, you know, so if you're road tripping on through California with the fam, and, you know, you want to see some other sites and want to come hang out with me along the way, that'd be totally awesome. I'm so psyched about this. One of my friends is like, oh, it's so far. And I was like, well, you know, you can stay over at our house, you know, because she's one of my friends. And she's like, oh, yeah. So I have a couple of my friends that want to come. I want to get one of my other friends to come as well. So you guys get to see a few of my homies from here. And yeah, this is gonna be so cool. And I have like I have the whole itinerary on my website, www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. If you click on events, there's a section that says upcoming events. I mean, it's the first thing that you see on the page. And it'll say 5 Elements Meetup, and it has like the whole itinerary. There's links, hyperlinks, so you can click on all the places that we're going to go, and that way you can get a little bit more information. It takes you to like their websites and things. So, you know, if you were actually going to maybe do a trip down here, and, you know, make a little vacation of it, that would be great. And hopefully, you know, I have enough information there for you. So yeah, it's a Saturday and a Sunday, and like I said, donations are welcome, but this is absolutely free. It's just, you know, I want to give back for all the awesome, you know, people that are out there that support my channel, support my business, and yeah, I'm really grateful for all of you. So it's like, you know, giving to my friends out there. So I call it the 5 elements because we're going to be working with the 4 elements plus the 5th element being spirit. The first place we're meeting up is Iron Mountain. We're going to be doing like a little mini hike, but, you know, based on people's different ability levels, we'll kind of gauge it there. Pixie Dust says hashtag supporting the best. Thank you. And we'll do a meditation. I want us to be able to kind of tap into the animal energies of that mountain and see kind of what animal energy pops up for each of us in our meditations. And that'll be kind of like our guide on the mountain or for that day. And then I want to do an earth healing, since I feel a lot of earth energy on that mountain. That's where, you know, I get a lot of grounding and messages from spirit. And there is a place where there are a lot of red-tailed hawks up there. Elizabeth's Life and Style, hey! So just talking about my meetup in July, it's absolutely free, and I'm just kind of going over some of the deets, but you guys can, again, head to my website, head to events, and get the whole itinerary. And so, yeah, I want to be able to do earth healing, so not only healing ourselves with the energy of the earth, but also doing a little healing from Mama Earth, you know. And then after that, you know, if you guys want to continue walking around, that's cool. I just, you know, it's nothing is totally set in stone. It's going to be kind of based off of the needs of the group that I'm with. After that, though, I do want to get some lunch over at Dudley's Bakery, so that's a nice little scenic drive down to Ramona, just here in San Diego, you know, so you keep going past Poway into Ramona. We'll get an absolutely awesome, fresh, delicious lunch. I love the blat, which is the bacon, lettuce, avocado, tomato sandwich. New Age Lunatic said, I think this will be a great success and maybe it'll turn into an annual event you do and expand or something. That's kind of what I'm hoping. You know, I'm hoping that, hey, if this goes really well, let's do it again next year and, you know, and then let's expand. And yeah, I'm just so excited. So yeah, and then and Dudley's is a really good bakery. It's like a really famous bakery. So I don't know if you guys want to go buy some bready goodies over there, you know, you can. And then after that, if we drive 10 more minutes, we'll be in Julian. Julian is a beautiful, like, it's a famous spot in San Diego. It's really out in the middle of nowhere, and it looks much like it did back in the 1800s during the gold rush. There's a lot of people dressed in like period clothing. There's carriage rides. There's oh, it's just really cool. I love the atmosphere. I love walking in all the little shops. Before that, we'll stop and get some apple pie from Mom's Pie Company, because there's a Mom's Pie Company that's the famous one in Julian, but there is another one just outside of Julian, and I'd rather go to the one that has like the 2-minute line as opposed to the 2-hour line that you have to wait in Julian, because it's the exact same pie. And probably it's a lot fresher because it's a 2-minute line. So we'll get some apple pie because Julian's known for all of its apples, which after the whole gold rush thing ended in Julian, they realized that, hey, we got all these apples. What can we do to keep the, you know, the community thriving? And it was their apples, and their apples are really good. There's apples like all over the ground, you know, because they're just falling off the trees everywhere. And there's all these horses too, so it's like the horses are always just eating all the apples. But yeah, it's a really cool town, and I'd love to take you guys to that. And to that place I consider more like air energy. Yes, it's windy up there, but it's just a really good place for contemplation, a lot of thinking, a lot of goodness for the mind. So want to do a little air healing using the element of air when we're up there, and then that'll be kind of the end of day one. Day two, we are going to be where? Okay, I'm getting all my. Oh, we're meeting at the beach, so at Belmont Park, because that's really recognizable. It's the big like roller coaster here in San Diego, and it's on, you know, Mission Beach. So we'll all meet there, and then we'll kind of walk along the beach a little bit past Mission up to PB, which is Pacific Beach, because there's a lot of people in Mission, and I want us to maybe like not be in the middle of people's like frisbee toss. So, you know, kind of walk us to Pacific Beach a little bit. Plus, you know, a nice little walk along the beach is nice. We'll do, again, another meditation, working with ocean animal energy, and then do an ocean healing. So not only using the ocean to help heal ourselves, but to help heal the ocean that touches every land mass on this planet. You know, put that goodness out there. And then afterwards, for that sweet tooth, I was going to take us over to the Baked Bear. And the Baked Bear is just off the Crystal Pier, so we'll definitely go on Crystal Pier as well. The pier is beautiful. Beautiful sunsets, by the way. And we'll get the Baked Bear. The Baked Bear is, you get to pick any fresh cookies that you want, and then any ice cream that you want, and they put the 2 cookies and the ice cream in the middle, and then they put it in a panini press and they warm it up, and it's so good. Beeful B says, have you ever heard about mermaid earrings? I have not. I'd be very curious to know what they are. But yeah, so then after our beach quest with some ocean energy. So, you know, the day before we will have had our earth energy, air energy, then working with the ocean energy element, and then we're off to Old Town for the end of our trip on Sunday, kind of walking around Old Town. Old Town to me has that fire element to it, and it's where San Diego began. It's the Old Town. It's the original, you know, San Diego. So kind of paying homage to our ancestors with the Campo Santo Cemetery that is there. Of course, all our ancestors, the original San Diegans, aren't just in that place. Their graves are actually expand quite a ways out into the streets and into underneath the shops and things like that. It was a massive cemetery, and they didn't move the bodies. So like a lot of it is right on top of them. So kind of, you know, paying our respects to them, and going out to eat at Old Town Mex. Old Town Mexican Cafe is like, if you're from San Diego, you know that place is the bomb Mexican food. So have dinner there. I definitely want to walk around my favorite rocks and crystals shop. It's really affordable prices. The guy there is so cool, like the kind of wheel and deal. And of course, everything comes from South America. It's really cool. And then, you know, kind of walk around Old Town, all the shops, all the, you know, it's preserved. There's little museums there, so you could see how life was, you know, back then. So I think that'd be really cool, tapping into that fire energy. So we'll definitely do a little meditation and healing there as well before I send you guys off. So, you know, if this sounds interesting to you, I definitely would love to have you. Like I said, directions, itinerary, links to everything is on my website under the events page. So kittensweightsandtarot.com. So check it out if you are interested. So lots and lots happening this summer. So getting started on that Oracle deck first and foremost at the start of June, and then kind of taking you guys on that journey with me through that. And then, yeah, that meetup that I'm so excited about. Retha, what's up? So yeah, I said that I wanted to show you one of my new decks that I got, and like I said, I've pulled out all of my decks because I wanted to see kind of what resonated with me and what didn't anymore. So I put those off to the side, the ones that don't. And Christina had the awesome idea of maybe I'll do a live chat, maybe beginning of the summer, and just like go through all the decks, and if you guys want to like buy one of them or trade or whatever, you know, we could do that here. So I think that's an awesome idea. Okay, so I got a deck that I've been waiting for a while, and it's the Saki Saki Tarot. And for right now, I'm keeping it in this little bag. But I ended up buying another nice tarot bag off one of my favorite Etsy shops called, excuse me, My Grandmother's Hands. So My Grandmother's Hands has really good, just like little bags in general, but she makes oracle and tarot bags as well. So definitely go check out My Grandmother's Hands, because I have like, I think this will be like my 6th or 7th purchase, but she makes bags just like this. So I have this one. I have this one. I'm getting one in white for the Saki Saki. I know I have another one around here. Oh. I have one of my oracle decks in this brown one. So yeah, so I'll be getting a white one. And I think I have another one around here. I don't see it right off the bat. Okay, so the Saki Saki, I don't want to, Dead Cheeky, what's up? I didn't want to throw away this little thingy, but it's so cool. It says good karma. So so I kept that, and I kept the little packaging, the like special little wrapping paper that came on it, and I kind of smoothed it out, and I put it as like a little art piece, like a little framed art piece, because I think it is art. It's really cool. So there's the little title card, and there's the little white book, which is really informational, and I love all the special messages that came with the deck. It came all the way from Tel Aviv. So yeah, it's a little skinnier than your regular tarot deck. Dead Cheeky said, oh, she just did my hashtag my lovely Lenormand, so I'll definitely check that out. New Zealand Tech said, I really like the look of the Saki Saki. It looks so much fun. It is, and it's, you know, at first I wasn't sure if it'd be my style, but it totally is. It's, you know, it's colorful, it's quirky, And yes, it is in English. So the little book here, the artist actually, let's see, the artist kind of bounces around between, I think it was Tel Aviv, London, New York, and Los Angeles. Um, Dead Cheeky said it was her third attempt, and she loves the sake sake. Yes, it's really cool. You know, there's a little artist statement in there. Yeah, the whole. Let me kind of flip through here. Yeah, the whole book is in English, so that's pretty cool. And then she left like a little note here, which I thought was pretty neat. And then you get a little astrological reference card. So yeah, let me just kind of show you guys these. So here's the backings. Loki has not come back yet, but my boyfriend's like, he's all, just wait a little while. I feel like, you know, he's all, I think he'll come back. And I was like, okay. And actually, speaking of Loki, we watched, we bought a DVD last night. We watched Thor Ragnarok. And Ragnarok, yes. Christina said, I am on a no spend for a few months. It's good to do that. I go on those for like, it'll be like a month of, okay, we're not spending this month. So then I end up putting things on my wish list. But I have found that the way it reads is like kind of tell you, like it'll tell you things that maybe are crappy, but in a way that it softens the blow, but also helps you like with how can I not have things be crap right now, you know? So it has a really good like counseling feel to it. It's a really good counselor. Very kind. That's what I'm getting from this deck, is that it is really kind. Noach in the text said, oh, thank you. Yes, don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah. So I've been taking this everywhere with me. Like I've told you guys before, whenever I get a new deck, it stays by my bedside. It comes with me everywhere, so I can just like bond with it, get to know it, get a feeling for how it reads. Straight away, I started using it for client readings because it was like, we just were like right off the bat, like homies. So yeah, if you guys want to put this on your wish list, or you know, your future birthday wish list, I would say that would be good. Oh, and then there is an extra card, and it is the artist card. And the creator said, because she put the card in there not because all of us are, you know, create sketches or paintings or sculptures, but because we are the creators of our destiny, of our universe, of our world. And so that when this card comes up, it's to remind you that you are the artist, you are the creator, and you have ultimate say over your destiny. And I thought that is so cool. And I was having this unusual dream last night. I had a dream that there was like these heckling girls, like everything I did made me feel embarrassed, and I was actually flying. So I was like flying, and they couldn't get to me because they couldn't fly. They were driving their cars, but it's like they were following me, and they were like heckling me. And I was so embarrassed, you know, like I don't know what I was doing in my dream, but it was like nobody else seemed to care except these like group of 3 girls, and I was like trying to get away and like, don't follow me, don't know where I live. And it was weird because I was driving my truck, but there was nobody in my truck. It was my truck was below me driving itself, and I was above like flying, and it was totally trippy. And then at the end, just before I woke up from my dream, with Wally in my armpit. Wally was all curled up. He had his little paw over my chest and his little pink tummy along my side. And Christina said, not even tempted. That's good. That's good. And I was giving all these good quotes. I started talking to somebody about how you shouldn't care what other people think of you. And you know, you just make your life worse basically by allowing others to dictate what you do with your life, you know, because you want to get away from the laughing or the heckling. It ends up making you feel like crap because you're adapting to somebody else's wants and needs, and you know, and in the end maybe it makes them feel good because they feel like they had power over somebody to change them, but you don't feel good about yourself. And so in my dream, I was like coming up with what I thought was like really inspirational quotes. And in my dream, there was this girl sitting with me and she says, "Oh my God, you need to make a t-shirt out of that." I was like, I do need to make a t-shirt out of it. And when I woke up, I was like, holy crap, I don't remember what it was. It would have been an awesome t-shirt. Dead Cheeky says she loves when I share my dreams with you guys. Yes, my crackheady dreams. Saying, you just you gotta do you, and that's the only real thing that will make you happy. So I don't know. That was kind of an interesting dream. Christina says, "How do you teach children not to care what others think? Kids have it tough." They do, um, and so because I see sometimes, there will be kids that aren't the popular ones in class, and sometimes I just have like a chit chat with them, and instead of like pointing out that you're probably getting made fun of or bullied by these other kids, I try to point out like, hey, what are you doing, what do you like to do, and I try to get them to pursue the things that they like. And I always remind them about the people in society who haven't followed what everybody else has done. I was like, I said, asked them, I said, do you have an iPhone? And they're like, yeah. I was like, do you know anybody who has an Apple Watch? They're like, yeah. I was like, do you know anybody who owns an iPad? Yeah. Or an Apple computer? Yeah. I was like, Steve Jobs never went to college. He went, but then he dropped out. I was like, and we watched that whole speech, about him just following his dreams. I said, and how I said his life wasn't all, sunshine and rainbows. I said he's had terrible mess ups, in his life, and and people thought that what he was doing was stupid. And I said, and he had basically a couple of friends, and and that was it, and I give him, that whole thing, and how he had a very public failure when he was kicked out of his own company, Apple, and then he went off, and because of that ultimate failure, he created Pixar, which is like, hello, Pixar is like one of the most watched, movies. People love Pixar movies. And so, I remind them of people like that, people who've gone and done things on their own, no matter what anybody else said. And so, and I tell them, I was like, I don't know if you know, but I wasn't like the most popular kid. I said, the only reason I said a lot of people liked me in high school, I said, is because I was their top runner in high school. Like I said, I was their sprinter, I was a top athlete. I said, but it didn't make me like super popular in school. I was still weird. I was still a dork. I said, but I felt like people only hung out with me because of what I did and not really for who I am. And I love to dress weird when I was in high school. I mean, what am I saying was I still dress weird. I would have like outfits, and like I would channel like, ideas of things I wanted to be that day at school, and and I would just dress that way. And of course I would feel my face like heating up when people would stare at me and be like, but I would just smile. Like that was my defense, was just to smile at them and not let them see that it kind of hurt me when I would hear them whispering behind my back, and a lot of them would do it in Spanish, and I know Spanish, and they would assume that because I'm light skinned, I don't know Spanish, and I would know what they were saying. And so, but my defense was always to kill them with kindness, like I don't remember exactly what they said, but sometimes the girls would come over and be like, wow, nice outfit. And they would laugh. And then I'd smile and be like, really? Thank you. You look really nice today too. I've always admired your style. And then they'd be like, and then they would walk off, and then they really wouldn't say anything to me again. And so, yeah, that was always my defense, instead of to fight and like get in their face, because I feel defensive. Yeah, it was, and so that's kind of what I try to, I try to tell some of the kids that I know that aren't don't fit in, you know, so to speak. So I try to tell them, you know, not fitting in is a good thing. It's probably the best thing, because we wouldn't have all the cool stuff that we have now if it weren't for the people that didn't fit in, you know. So hopefully my advice helps them. Kind of scrolling through your comments. Oh, and Allie's here. Hey, Allie, sorry, I missed your comment. Dead Cheeky said there's a little bit of a Powerpuff Girls look to this deck, or some cartoon that I've seen before. It is kind of Powerpuff. And I can't quite put my finger on it. But yes, there is a cartoon feel to that deck. Christina said her grandson is 10 and he struggles. 10 can be hard. I remember being 10. That was like when girls were finding out. It's like who's, well, for girls anyway, it was like, whose clique are you in? Whose side are you on? Dead Cheeky can hear Wally. Wally was yowling because obviously my boyfriend's probably outside, and Wally hates when one of us is outside and he's not with us. Christina said it's wonderful being a dork as an adult. Yes. Oh, and Debbie popped in briefly, and she's off going to work. So Debbie, I'm so glad that you had popped in. Yes, nerds unite. That's so awesome. So yeah, I definitely know that it can be pretty rough out there for kids. You know, like I said, I didn't have the smoothest of upbringings. You know, not only was I really teased when I was in elementary and middle school, and they kind of backed off a little bit in high school. I mean, I still wasn't like super popular, but you know, there, yeah. But you know, my home life too was pretty crap. So it was like, for me, it was hard to find a safe haven. So my safe haven was in my imagination. So I always loved drawing. I always loved reading. I always loved writing. And so, yeah, that was my place where I could just be me and, you know, have my thoughts. So Sherry Bug's here. What up, Sherry Bug? Dead Cheeky says, isn't it funny how the lemmings who torment us for being different always find someone famous to copy, someone famous for being different usually? Yes. Oh, Sherry Bug, I did get your photos, and so awesome. I got, I've been getting the past few days a lot of people's photos for the Oracle deck, and so I'm so happy because, you know, beginning of June, I'm finally going to sort through those pictures and kind of start putting things together. Christina says, I give her hope. Well, I think the best thing, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I think just the best thing is just pointing out that what makes them different makes them awesome, you know? So, I mean, I'm still basically the me that I was when, you know, I was a little kid and when I was in high school. Like, I'm still Tara, I'm still me, I still have my quirky style, I still have my Hello Kitties, you know, I'm still that child. But the only thing that's changed is I give less of a shit of what people think of me. Whereas before, I did care. I just felt like I don't know. I just had this thing in me that I didn't want to be them, and them being mean to me, because, you know, I had a mother who was very bullying, who was mean to me, and them being like my mom, I was like, well, I'm not changing for her, I'm not changing for them, no matter how bad it hurts. And now, you know, I'll get like weird looks every now and then, and in my head I'm just like, psh, you're just sad that you can't rock this wig like I can. Or rock this outfit like I can. So haters gonna hate, and that's all I think. I was like, haters gonna hate. And you know, and I'm just like, you know, and sometimes I tell the kids, you know, because they're like, oh, so-and-so said something about so-and-so, and this is happening. Oh my God, the girls gossip so much. And they're like, oh, and this is, and I can't believe so-and-so dressed like this today. And I'm like, why do you care? You know, and sometimes I talk to them, I said, why do you care about how somebody else is acting? Why do you care about how somebody else is dressing? Why does that affect your life? Well, you can't just walk around school with clothes like that. I'm like, but who cares? Really? I'm like, is this affecting you? Like, are you in charge of this person's life? And so like sometimes I'm telling the girls and the guys, like, you are not the master or mistress of this person's life, leave them alone. You know, they want to dress that way, let them dress that way. They want to act that way, let them act that way. Like, it's you. Why do you care? I always ask them, I said, just sit yourself down. Why do you care? Just ask yourself. Why is that your issue? You know, and hopefully they'll in the future stop themselves now that they're all graduating high school. In a couple of weeks, June 7th is their graduation. Hopefully, they just they go off, and I've had several sit downs with them, and I'm like, okay, you guys are seniors. You guys are the future. Like, you literally are. I know that sounds corny. I was like, but you guys are going to be running the world when I'm old and decrepit. Okay, so I was like, I want to make sure that the world I'm going to be living in when I'm old and decrepit is awesome. So you guys better make it awesome. And they're like, yes, Mrs. Dito. Bum, 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 bum. Dead Cheeky says, you have a birthday in the near future. I do, in June. You know, especially when I was in high school and even when I was in college, people would get into the mode of wanting to gossip and talk about other people. And family, like, they would get their jollies about off of making fun of others. Like, that made them feel good about how crappy their lives are if they could make fun of somebody else, like how they look, how they dress, the lifestyle that they have. And so, you know, when I would have friends that would start talking like that, and I'm like, you know, we really shouldn't be talking behind their backs. I was like, do you want somebody talking behind your back? You know, I said, what if somebody was saying about all those awful things about your hair or your face? Like, it's not nice, you know. So sometimes I just kind of like would bring my friends back to reality. And there were a couple of friends that I left when I was in elementary school because they were mean. And as much as I didn't want to be on the receiving end of their mean, like, I was like, I can't do what they do. And so when I was like in 6th grade, I like told these girls goodbye, and then I became, you know, part of their hate and their whatever. But I was just like, well, at least I'm not them, whatever. And you know, my mom, who, I mean, she kind of sucks, but every now and then she would tell me, sticks and stones, honey, sticks and stones. And I was like, yeah. Let's see, Christina, I have never had many friends. People can be so mean. Tarot people are usually good people. Sherry Bug said, absolutely, so proud of her. She is such a sweet girl. Yes. Yeah, and I think with I don't know, what's kind of cool about the tarot community is that, you know, by using decks of cards, a lot of people, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people use them for introspection. So a lot of people are very aware of their actions and how their actions affect others because they know how it makes them feel. So I think that, you know, any community, or yeah, any community where that's part of your community is introspection, I think is going to be a little more aware of how you treat others. Maybe not just tarot, but, and I'm hoping, you know, more communities are like that. I try to instill that into my athletes. I try to instill that into little Wally that's whining back there. Wally's always sweet anyway. Christina said there's a lot of introverts in the tarot community. Yeah, I think it's kind of a balance, you know, because I know a lot of people in tarot that are very extroverted. You know, you think of Ethany Dawn, you think of extrovert, fire energy, and then there are a lot of people that are introverted as well. I think our community has a really good balance of that. And for me, I've always said I'm an introverted extrovert. You know, I can be very outgoing, but most of the time I am very introspective, and I like to just kind of be in my little space, kind of thinking things through. Dead Cheeky said, I had people disassociate me from me in high school because my BFF was a different race. I have no idea where these people are now, but my BFF and I are still tight over 30 years. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. She sounds totally awesome. Christina said ambivert. Yes. Yeah, I have one friend that I've been friends with since 6th grade, and she, like, we kind of came together, her and a couple of my my nerdy little friends in 6th grade because she had come from like deep South Mexico, and she didn't speak any English, and her Spanish was even a little bit different than the Spanish that everybody else knew, and so people made fun of her, and people used to say that she was special ed. They would say that she was dumb, you know, because she couldn't speak English or speak their Spanish. And so she was just kind of always like made fun of for being dumb. They would say a bunch of really mean things in Spanish and in English, you know, about her face or her hair, the way she dressed. And but she always remained really sweet, and she's still sweet till this day. And she told me, she says, yeah, those people were jerks, but you know, she says, I just don't care. She was like, I just never cared. And she says, because I was like, well, those people aren't my friends. I don't care. You know, and I mean, that's just how she's always been. Like, Rose is really cool. And then I have another friend that I've known since 7th grade. And he's always been, I always call him my Eeyore. He's always my little dark cloud, you know, because he was always very, I mean, he had a rough home life, so he was always very emotional and kind of very dark. You know, he dressed, you know, all in black all the time. You would have t-shirts with like Hellraiser on them and stuff like that, and like Freddy Krueger, and you know, but I knew that once I broke through his exterior of, you know, always had his arms like folded, and he would always just stare at people because that was his defense. You know, when people would try to talk to him, his defense was to stare them down. And so when you got to his core, he's like the nicest, coolest guy ever. And so yeah, he's my homie. He's my pinky. Like no, he's brain, I'm pinky. And that's always been our thing. We're pinky in the brain, you know. And actually he just had a birthday this month. Dechiki said, English is a really hard language to learn, and I wonder how many of those bullies were bilingual. Um, a lot of them were, but I wouldn't say, you know, growing up in San Diego, a lot of, we have a lot of Mexican Americans here, and they both speak Spanish and English. But there are a lot that don't read or write in, well, I didn't say a lot, but like the kids I went to school with could kind of read and write in English, couldn't read or write in Spanish, spoke mostly like a Spanglish, like a mixture of Spanish and English. And their English was kind of had a little bit of Spanish mixed in it too. Like it wasn't two separated languages. It was, I don't know, a little bit different. Christina said, I am an Eeyore. My husband is a Tigger. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Sherry Bug said, I was always made fun of until I was about a sophomore. It bothered me then, of course, but now I look at them and their lives now and the amazing life that I had, and you pity them. Yes, I pity the fool. Pity the fool, people. Pity the fool. Yeah, you know, if I think back on it, you know, if I never got bullied, if I never got bullied at home, I don't know if I'd be the same person, you know. So although it really sucked to have a horrible home life, and although it really sucked balls to have the upbringing that I did, you know, and the people that I was surrounded with, I always had at least a couple of really good friends, which was a blessing. And I kind of always had myself that I could rely on. Yeah, and I think that that has made me who I am. So as much as that sucked, it's made me, probably helped me be much more compassionate and much more giving and caring and caring about other people, you know. So Christina said Marshall is in special ed and the kids tease him constantly. Yeah, there's, don't get me started on that, because we have the high school that I work at is known for having like the best special ed program in the district. So we have we have a massive program. So we have a lot of students of varying ability levels on campus. We have the severe to mod, and those are the students that need care 24/7. They need an aid with them. We have students who just have like maybe 504s or IEPs. 504s means they just need special accommodations in class, like maybe they're near or farsighted, so they need to sit near the front of the class, or some of them just need extra time. They have an IEP, so they have extra time to get their work done because it just takes them longer to process. Some of them need extra instruction, but like I said, there's a huge spectrum of students on our campus, and some students that other students don't know are part of that program, that they just see them as not having anything wrong, like they can't visibly see something wrong, like they're not in a wheelchair, or they're not they don't have an aid by their side. They see them as, oh, then they're fair game, like, oh, then we can make fun of this kid. And so as soon as I see that happening, I will yank that kid and I will bring them over, and I'm like, what are you doing? Homie, don't play that. So yeah, I'm very protective of the special ed kids on campus. So Sherry Bug said, and that makes me so mad. Yeah. Dead Cheeky, that's why I couldn't be a teacher. I'd get myself into trouble being protective mama bear. It could be really hard. Christina said, are you leaving teaching? I do want to, that's why I'm, trying to find ways to support myself. So eventually I can. I mean, I probably can't like just leave. I would probably have to go part-time until I can support myself on my own. But I find where I really feel that I connect with kids, because I love kids. Like I especially love high school kids, because they're in that age where they're really solidifying almost like who they're going to be as adults. They're really finding out who they are, what they want to do, how they want to live their lives. And I think that's like a really big transitional stage. And that's why I've always loved coaching, high school track and field. That's why I've always loved teaching. But the part I liked the most was when I just got to pull kids aside and have conversations with them. Like that's my favorite part of teaching, is to just talk to kids one-on-one and find out like, what do you want? Why do you, why would you act this way? Or, if somebody's bullying you, what can we do about it, to, prevent this, or make sure that, that doesn't happen, things like that. But as the actual like curriculum and what I have to do in school, like to me, that's just, it's so political, and it's like, why are we making our kids do this? Why do you make them do so many tests that don't mean anything actually? It's just testing so that like the state can like check off a box and say, look what all our kids are doing. Yes, all that other stuff. The other stuff that's not like the cool, fun, bring out their creativity teaching stuff. It's what's becoming the majority of the curriculum. And before it was just some of the curriculum. And so I was like, whatever, we gotta do some testing. We gotta do like, some stuff because the state wants us to do it. But I loved being able to like do creative writing and create my own projects that like help bring out like them, where they felt like they weren't just, like my favorite thing to do was to create a school, like a class book. And so they would all write their short stories, and I was like, I don't care if you're a writer or not, like you're writing a short story. But they were happy that they could write about whatever they wanted. And I said that I wouldn't censor them in any way unless I said you were being blatantly racist, you were being hateful in any way in your story. I was like, then no, we're not doing that. I said, but if you feel like you want to talk about something and you want to quote unquote hide behind a character, that's okay. I said, that's what like authors do. I said, they create these personas and these characters. I said, because the characters get to say what they could never say and do what they could never do. I was like, so you get to create these people that will do and say whatever you want them to. And then the kids were like, oh, so then even the kids that hate writing, they would even create a story too. And so I think I have a couple, I have my books, because I always keep one copy here at home of the books that I've created. And they were my favorite thing to do. And because of the curriculum, we can't do it anymore because they said it wasted too much time, and kids are supposed to be learning, do more nonfiction, like they're supposed to be reading articles and current events and looking at the tragedies and how horrific the world is, and like writing an essay on it. So Dead Cheeky said that is just awesome. And to me, it's like, oh yes, there is crap going on in the world, but do they have to be bombarded with it like all the time now? Like, where they get no say, like they don't get to write about how they feel. Okay, so here are my 3 books. Okay, so yeah, I created 3 books. Hey, I still have extra copies if you guys just want me to give them to you. Sammy, what's up? So I was just talking about these are my student stories. So this was the first book that I created, and it's called Beautiful Minds. And I think I may still have a few copies of these. Hey, so tell you what, you guys, so if, you know, if you want one, I will, maybe I'll make a video where it's like, okay, these are the books, and if you want one, I'll tell you what shipping is, and then you guys just pay for the shipping or whatever. Like, you don't have to pay for the book. That'd be okay. Just, yeah, pay for shipping. And then, just like send it to like my PayPal me account. Like, maybe we could do that. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll make a video and I will do that. Yeah, so this was the first one, and since I'm a photographer, I had taken all their pictures, and it was a small class, which is why it's such a small book. But okay, so the backstory on this one, at one of the high schools that I was at, I was given this class of kids that they were, I think they were juniors. I think mixed sophomores, juniors, and the school had said they were the kids that were not going to be able, like they were not going to be able to pass high school if they didn't pass the California high school exit exam. We don't have that exam anymore. But for a while, we had this exit exam, and if the seniors couldn't pass it, they couldn't graduate. And so they said these were all the kids who were in danger of not passing it. And they said because they've already taken it once before, they didn't pass, they have to pass before the beginning of their senior year so that they can graduate. So it was like my job to be able to get them to pass this thing. And so, for the first semester, I was like, trying to prep them and get them ready for it. And these kids were just like, tell you like the truth, they're like, we hate reading and we hate writing. They're like, we hate all the stupid novels that the school makes us read and things like that. And I was like, listen, I was like, I said, you just need to pass this hurdle called high school. Then you get to do whatever you want. I said, if you want to go off and, go make music, go make music. You want to go off and, go work at your dad's auto mechanic shop, great. I was like, but just at least get your high school diploma. I was like, and then you do what you want to do, and you get back to me and let me know what's happened. They're like, okay. So they understood the point of the class. So they were invested in that. And I told them that, I said, if you can give me 100% of you, I said, I promise that I will help you to pass. Like, you will pass if you just pay attention to everything I say. I was like, but you have to give me 100%, because if you don't, then not passing is on you. And they were like, okay. And so I did. I got all of them to pass. And then they were like, what are we going to do second semester? And I was like, I was kind of inspired by that story, Freedom Writers. Yes, the Freedom Writers. So I was kind of inspired by that, and I was like, well, maybe I can make them write a story. So we spent all semester, like, each of them writing a story. And I even, since it was so few, I had them like make a little picture to go with it. So like you can see in here, that was like their little picture that went with their story. And they all signed it too, so. Yay. I was like, you guys are my famous authors, so there's a little dedication, my teacher's dedication. I have a little intro of how, like, the whole backstory about this whole thing. This is the, all the titles of all their stories, and I guess some of them signed their stories, so that's kind of cool. Christina said, do the kids come and visit you? Every once in a while. Well, because I'm not at the school that I was at with these kids, they probably don't know where I am anymore because I'm not at their school anymore. So if they have come back, they probably can't find me. And because I've moved to so many schools, there some kids will see me out and about, and they're like, "Hey," you know, and that's kind of cool. Usually, I see them out and about, like I see some kids at the gym or I see some kids at the mall, you know, and so I run into kids that way. I have had the kids I have taught at the school that I'm at now come back and see me. I used to have that. There was a school I taught at for a long while, and I would have a lot of kids, you know, come back and see me there too, which was kind of cool because now they're all like in their mid to late 20s. I'm like, oh. Dead Cheeky said that movie made me cry. Yes, yes, it did. And because the movie The Freedom Writers takes place at Wilson High School. Wilson High School is where actually I did my student teaching when I went to school at Long Beach State. You know, so I was doing my student teaching at that school. It's actually a really nice school. Like, all the kids are in uniform. It's a really nice school. Christina says, I bet you are a favorite. To some, maybe not all. But yeah, so all of their little stories are in here. So that was my first one. Let's see, what year is this? Copyright 2013. Yeah, so this first one's 2013. And then this one is not from last year, but the year before, maybe 3 years ago, maybe. I think so. 2016. Okay, yeah, a couple years ago. Oh, you guys like the about the author? But this one is a lot thicker because I did it with my freshmen because I had room in my curriculum to do that. So this is erased. And what I did, instead of taking pictures of all the kids, because I had a lot of freshmen and all their pictures wouldn't fit on here, I did an art contest. So I said, all of you guys that are artists, I said, I don't care if you paint, you draw, you take photographs, you create sculptures, you can take a picture of your sculpture. I was like, put it in the box. And so I had this box up at the front of the classroom. And for like 3 weeks, they could just put their art in there. And then at the end of 3 weeks, I had each of my classes vote on what they thought was the best picture. And so this got voted as the best. So this girl created all these like geometric pieces and she colored it, and she had called it Erased. And so that's what I called the title of the book. It was Erased. And then I made sure that she got credits on the front. And I always let them know, I said, you guys are published authors. Like, seriously, I was like, this is sold on Amazon. And they were like, no way. So yeah, all their books are actually on Amazon, but I was like, since I don't advertise, I was like, nobody's gonna buy your stuff off Amazon. You know, so I just charged the kids the price to print the book. So I think it was like $5 for each kid. Yeah, so this one was like $5 because it costs like $5 to print. So a bunch of the kids had bought it. And then my other copy with all their signatures must be somewhere else. I might have that downstairs. But yeah, so a lot of these ones, like, they created some really long stories. Some of them created stories about coming out as being gay and, you know, dealing with that. Some of them talked about losing a parent. Some of them had space alien stories. Some of them had like war stories, like real war stories. Like some of them are refugees. So they kind of talked about that, but behind their character. So this one, I think I had some really good writers that year. So this one is really well done. I like all their stories, and I had the school library purchase a copy so you can check it out at their school library. And so the librarian came to me in tears. She's kind of emotional anyway. She's like, oh my gosh, she's like, your book is the most checked out book in the library. I was like, for real? She's like, the kids love seeing their writing and showing it off to their friends. And so I don't know, I kind of felt pretty good about that. And then this one is from last year. Yeah, 2017. And that was the last year I had freshmen. I haven't had freshmen this year, so I couldn't make a book this year, but I hear that I'm going to have freshmen next year. So I don't know, maybe I can make it. It would be cool if the tarot community did this. Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. This was the art that won last year. So she drew the fish and created watercolors, so I thought that was cool. So the title of this was called School of Thought, you know, because fish. And so there wasn't any room for them to, oh, there's all their signatures. There wasn't any room for them to make pictures because I was trying to keep the cost of the book down for them, and I didn't want to make extra pages, so I just had them, you know, do their stories. But this one was really cool too. And I had a lot more boys this year, so it was harder to get my boys on board, but once they did it, they thought it was pretty cool, like, especially when it was published. They were like, wow, like, whoa, we're actually on Amazon, and wow, like, this is a real thing. And I was like, yeah, you guys can put this on your college transcripts, or I said, when you go to get a job, you can put this on your resume, like, you are a published author. I said, this isn't just something for your English class because your dorky English teacher wants you to do this. I was like, no, seriously, I said, this is something, I said, that you, when you get old like me, I was like, and if you so choose to have children, you can tell your children that mommy or daddy wrote a book. And they were like, I was like, so yeah, this isn't just something for class. And I was trying to stress that to them. I was like, that this is something that you can say that you've done for years to come. Sherry Buck said, bloody hell, I can't type today. Yes, Dead Cheeky, they're all on Amazon. But like I told the kids, I was like, nobody's gonna buy them on Amazon. I was like, because nobody knows that they're for sale. Because they were like, well, you know, because their kids were also wondering, they're like, where does the money go? And I was like, I have the money set up to the library. I said, so the library gets the money off the sale of your books. And they were like, well, the library's gonna make like $1 million. And I was like, okay, who's buying all your books? And they're like, I don't know. I was like, if I'm not advertising, do you think people are going to be buying your books? And they're like, maybe not. I was like, but you guys can put the word out. I was like, you know, and so their family members have bought off Amazon, and, you know, and that's been kind of cool. But yeah, I do have, and I made sure to let them know that the money isn't to make your teacher rich. I was like, let me show you how much money I have made since I've been doing these books. And I pulled up my account, 0. I was like, it's all just the cost of the book, the cost for it to get shipped to me and everything. So I was like, you guys are just paying for the cost of the book. I was like, I do not make money on this. I just get to say that I helped you guys do this. That's my kind of cool reward. So, yep, those are my 3 kiddos books. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, Missy's here. Hey, Missy. I was just going over some books that all my students had made in the past. Sherrybug, can you post the links? I would buy them so the library gets the money. Yes, on Amazon, I think you could just put my first and last name. Let me show you. There you go. So yeah, on Amazon, if you just type in my first and last name, all 3 of the books should come up. Yeah, so Erased is the second to last one. Beautiful Minds was the first one. And School of Thought was last year's. And like I said, I still have a box of some in my classroom. It's locked away. I think I still have a bunch of these, or no, maybe I have a couple of these left. I think I have 2 or 3 of these left in the classroom. And then I think I have like half a box of these left because I over-ordered just to see if like the kids' parents wanted to buy any, or I don't know. I just wanted to make sure like all their family members had them, because I was like, dude, you should be so proud. Your kid wrote a story. Like, and they would always be like with trepidation. They're like, can we write about anything? Like, they're like, what if I said a bad word? I was like, you can only have foul language in your story if it helps the story. I said, if you're just putting the F word into your story just because your teacher is allowing you to put the F word, I'm gonna say take the F word out. I was like, but only, I said, if it's absolutely needed in the story. I said, and that's with any words in, you know, the language. I was like, if foul language is needed, you put foul language in only if it's needed. I said, but if you could use other wording, I was like, then use it. I was like, you don't just put filler words. I said, sometimes foul language is just filler words. So yeah, I helped them with that. And actually, I think I only had like 1 kid that said the word shit in his story, but it actually, like, it fit the story. And so, but the kids were like, yes, we're gonna like swear all over our story. They ended up not doing that. They ended up actually taking really good care of their stories and deciding that they ended up being really mature. What I was doing with my freshmen, and she thought it was cool, so she would bring it to the board meetings and things like that. And finally last year they said, you need to tell this teacher to stop. They said kids, they said, should stop reading fiction. They said freshman year is the last year, they said, that the state of California wants kids reading fiction. Because they said actually we're going to try to stop in elementary school. They said elementary school kids should be the last kids to be reading fiction novels. And they said because we want them reading current events, and because basically we're trying to follow whatever China is doing, like the US in terms of schooling, as we're trying to emulate what China did like 10 years ago. So that I don't agree with. And so my department chair was very sad. She was like, I don't know, maybe you can squeeze it in the curriculum. She says, but our curriculum's pretty packed. And so she says, and although she goes, I think that you making the books with the kids is a pretty cool idea. Like, that's just not something that we, as the state of California, want freshman kids doing. We don't want them writing fictional stories. We want them writing essays. We don't want them reading much fiction anymore. We want them reading current events. We want them reading about war. We want them, reading about things like that. And they said, and we want to prep them for, the real world and for jobs. And they said, and reading fiction and writing short stories is not prepping them for a job. And I was like, and that's kind of what is kind of pushing me away from teaching, because everything that for me was fun when I was in high school, like as a writer, as an artist, being able to express myself, being, bullied and things like that, is being sucked out of school. Like, it's just read and write an essay, take a test, read, write an essay, take a test. And it's boring for me to teach. I can't imagine what it's like for the kids. So if you guys want to know my real reasoning for like wanting to get out of teaching, that's the reason. It's not the kids like at all. So I don't believe in that. Stifling children's creativity and their way to express themselves is only going to result in bad, something bad. A kid that can't get out their feelings and emotions and their thoughts, it's gonna blow up, and if they don't find a way to deal with their environment and things like that, and we don't allow them places to do that, like, that's, I don't know, for me, just my own opinion. I think that drawing, writing, talking things out, that's a way to get it out, and if you don't allow them to do that anymore in the classroom, and they can't do that with their teachers, like, and we're with them a good chunk of the day. So I'm just saying. Anywho, it's my 2 cents. I get a little heated. Dead Cheeky said her 15-year-old son would even be down with something like that. They eventually do. Like, once they figure out that I'm not going to be like telling them how to write and they can write however they want, then they appreciate that. Sherry Bug says, yes, God forbid those kids use their minds for themselves. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they do need a break from that stuff. Yes, it does sound like 1984. And part of the sophomore book curriculum was 1984, but they're pulling out those books, and that sucks. Teaching to testing is ridiculous, yes. And sadly, it results in kids who have to protest to be heard. Yes, I agree. And Anya Esma is here. Hey. Dead Cheeky's all riled up too. Okay, well, bring it down then. You don't need to get riled up on a Sunday. So anyway, but yeah, that's just, yeah. So that's why, I tried doing like a lot of like group work stuff like with my seniors, because I can't do like a lot of fun projects with them. It's just like job skills stuff basically. That's what my English class is job skills. and resume writing and things like that. Yes, I will pull a card, definitely. We do need one. I like when they're in doing group work. That way I can walk around and I can start talking to individual students. So that's my way of like working on communication and getting them to communicate like what's going on. And sometimes I ask them, you know, like, oh, you know, if they play a sport or if they are in theater or they're in band or they're doing extracurriculars or something like that. I'll like ask them, I'll even ask them about their day. If they have their head down on their desk, I'm like, rough night, right? And they're like, yeah, and usually they'll talk to me. So, but yes, let's pull a card since I have all my decks here with me. And actually the deck I am drawn to right now is the Animal Kin Oracle. So, are my cheeks red? They're red. Okay. Just asking our guides, all of our guides, just for a message, because we're all kind of riled up right now. Because anything having to do with kids is like kind of near and dear to my heart. And just kind of asking for a message, because I know, I don't know, I'm just looking for any sort of message right now. Help bring us down. There we go. Bring us down a little, because we're all kind of full of fire right now. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Whew. Dragonfly Imagination. Sorry. What? I'm trying to block you. You guys don't get to see my half-naked boyfriend. Yeah, don't use your imagination on that one.
Around here.
I was trying to use the card to block you. Christina said, "Streaker." New Age Lunatic said, "It's the dude." Okay, so yes, I think we needed that laugh. Gift from the universe, yes. Okay, so what I'm getting from this one, am I out of the corner of my eye? It's doing that weird thing where there's like flashing going on right now. So that's how I know that there is spirit in the room. So I'm going to take some water because there is a lot of flashing going on, like right there. It's like a disco light. It's like okay. Rose quartz grounding. Okay. So what I was getting from this is, you know, when it comes to kids, you know, if I'm being blocked in school from, you know, if their curriculum is blocking their creativity, stifling their imagination and things like that, that I'm the one that needs to be imaginative and finding new ways to bring out their creativity, and allowing them to express themselves with the shitty tools that I have. You know, that if, you know, these certain doors are locked, what door can I open to allow that? So having the curriculum that I have and having the way my classroom is set up, how can I tweak things in such a way where I can still say that I'm following the curriculum, but I'm also allowing them to express themselves? So yeah, that's something for me, and then something for you guys as well. You guys that have kids, or maybe you have some grandkids, or you're around kids, you have nieces and nephews. But how can you figure out, you know, and this might be some like creative adventure for you, how could you find a way to bring out expression, creativity, communication with those kids that you're surrounded with, whether they're your kids or not? you know, how could you do that without them thinking, oh, this is just a ploy to get me to express myself? So yeah, yes, for our kids out there, our kiddos out there, what can we do? How can we creatively figure out ways to incorporate into our routines or when we see them to get them to talk, either verbally, on paper, with their hands? How can we get them to communicate? Because verbal communication is not the only type of communication. So you use your imagination to help them use their imaginations. There we go. um, yes, Missy, it is a beautiful, beautiful deck, and this was the Animal Kin Oracle. Um, Sherry Bug said, well, you asked all her guys. Oh, yes, from before. Dead Cheeky said, careful, blood pressure, passionate mama. Yes. Oh, it's sold out. Oh, no, you know, Sherry Bug, it's sold out right now, but the creators, because I get the newsletter from the Fifth Element creators, TFL, yeah, the Fifth Element Life. They're working on a newer version of the deck. So although this deck is sold out right now, they do have a new deck coming out soon. And so they've been like really furiously working on it. So fret not, there will be another edition. They're changing up some of the animals a little bit, and they said that they'll probably be adding a couple more animals. So I think that's really cool. So not sold out forever. New Age Genetics said they're doing a new edition. Yep. Ooh, Hay House might be involved in this edition. So that's kind of cool. Dead Cheeky says they're all our kids, but you knew that already. Yes. Yes, so this is the Animal Kin Oracle. My next deck that Missy wants to get is Tarot in Wonderland. Ooh, that one sounds cool. Anya said it's so great. There are teachers. Like, thank you. Ray of Hope for all the children. I love that approach. Well, thank you. Thank you. And then Dead Cheeky said pretty unicorns. Yes. Very pretty, pretty. Okay, well, let's see, what were we in? 87 minutes. Okay. Well, we do have to start running our errands once my boyfriend puts some clothes on. We got to start running our errands for the day. So I'm thinking, if you guys would like a general reading, I'd say we're getting close to the end of our segment. So, okay, quick announcements, or again, and then we'll do a one card for everyone. Please ask one card question. What do I need to know about the relationship between Gustavo and I? Yes, so yeah, so you guys, if you want a general one card reading, yes, just post it here. And then New Age Lunatic, if you can be awesome sauce and just grab everybody's name that would like a one card reading, we'll do that. And then, like I said, quick announcements before I pull those one cards. Thank you, thank you. My Oracle deck starting in June. And if you have those pictures of your sacred space, please email them to Tara at kittensweightsandtarot.com. You know, just tell me like, where was this picture taken? Doesn't have to be super like professional photog, you know, just amateur pictures are best, cell phone pictures of your favorite place to be that is special to you, just a little blurb, just a little mini paragraph, why is this place special to you, and just email that to me, and I'm going to go through all of them and start creating our community-based oracle deck. So again, Tara at kittensweightsandtarot.com. Email those pictures. Last day to do that is going to be June 6th, because that's when I'm going to be starting on the oracle deck. More info can be found at www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. Click on oracle deck up at the top, and that'll give you all the info. Also, click on events and you'll see the upcoming event for our 5 Elements Meetup in July 21st through 22nd. So that's a Saturday and a Sunday. And the whole itinerary is there. It's totally free to you, although donations are welcome. And yeah, I'd love to see you guys there so we can do some healing, do some meditation, pull a few cards, eat a lot of good food, and walk around the beautiful sights of San Diego. So, all right. Okay, let's do those cards. So, New Age Lunatic, who do we have first? And I think I can, yeah, there we go. I don't think he's naked anymore. Okay, let me look for a deck that I would use. Actually, let's use the Saki Saki. Paloma is first. Okay. Okay, and then if I scroll back, I think Paloma had an actual question. What do I need to know about the relationship between Gustavo and Paloma? Okay. Yes, the Saki Saki. Okay. Need some water because there is a lot of spirit in the room, let me tell you. Okay, so relationship between Gustavo and Paloma. Okay, so Paloma, before I even pull a card, I was seeing a giraffe, which is interesting. So we'll see how giraffe energy ties in with your card. Okay, so I'm seeing a giraffe eating, but there is a child like asking for food from the giraffe, but the food is out of reach from the kid. So that's interesting. We'll see, because that's obviously symbolic. Let me plug my phone in real quick because we're running out of juice. There we go. Okay. Okay, so Paloma, I pulled the Wheel of Fortune card. And what I was getting with the whole image of a giraffe up high being able to get the food, and what seems like this little person, this child, down here like trying to reach what the giraffe has, but can't receive it. I'm kind of getting that you and Gustavo are maybe in two different places right now with this Wheel of Fortune card, where you maybe are the little girl, you know, if I'm saying that the giraffe was male, you know, and you're wanting to be in whatever place that he is in right now. And I'm not saying that one of you is in a better place than the other, but I'm saying that you're just like relationship wise in two very different places. So it makes the relationship very difficult. Whew, getting a little bit of heart palpitations. Let me get some water. So there's a lot of heavy energy, Paloma, that I'm getting from that, which is why I think like my heart's like kind of like whoo. Is that like you so desperately want to be in the same place as him, but I just kind of see this like nonchalance from this giraffe or Gustavo of like I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. I mean, you can join me if you want to, but you know, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, where it's like I'm trying but I can't reach. Paloma said she had a discussion last evening. Yeah, this is I'm really feeling that, by the way, because I've really got some palpitations going on. So I know that this is some really heavy discussion going on between you and your guy right now. So I guess it's just then, you know, knowing that the places that you're in might be out of reach from each other for right now. Is this something, you know, that you can work through? So yeah, so Wheel of Fortune for you. And sorry, just trying to get this thing back in order here right now. So yes, sorry to hear that there's some upheaval going on right now, Paloma, but I am sending you lots of love. Like I said, I've got my rose quartz, so I'm trying to bring out the love for you guys and with these readings. Okay, New Age Lunatic, who was next? So Paloma, definitely lots and lots of love to you and your relationship. Christina, and you're very welcome. Okay, so whew, there was a lot of discussion going on back here. Let me just. Okay, and then for Christina, I think it was just general, but let's see. Okay, so Christina, for you, I was seeing this tree that at first looked, it was kind of a little sketchy looking because it had lost all its leaves, so it was like kind of spooky looking. But then it was filled with all these birds, like the whole tree filled with birds. Um, and I do have birds singing outside the window, but it made it less spooky. I don't know. Let's find out what that means. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, so Christina, we got the Knight of Rods, which is, wands. And so I'm thinking of those branches, those scraggly branches on the tree that I saw, all those bare branches with no leaves. And so I'm seeing that you may have encountered some sort of setback where it was like, well, crap, what am I supposed to do now? Like like something was taken away, and then you're trying to figure out, well, what am I supposed to do with this? But with the tree being filled with birds, all these colorful birds, it's like, well, kind of like that card I pulled earlier about imagination, that all these ideas now are coming to you because now you do have to use your imagination with what you have now. So something was taken away, but now you get to be a little bit more creative about how you go about doing this thing that you do. So that's what I see with the Knight of Rods and the bare tree with the birds. So yeah, Christina, let me know if that resonated with you. Whew, whew, you guys have some intensity coming on. Christina said that makes so much sense. Well, I'm so happy. Yay, yay. And lots of love to you as well. And who do we have next for our lovely Saki Saki Tarot? I love this tarot, by the way. Missy. All right. Missy. Okay, Missy, I was seeing this like funny image of like little piglets like playing around in like the mud, and like kids playing in the mud and just having fun and like not caring like how dirty they got, and just like little kids and piglets like just playing and just like without a care in the world, just like don't care, dirty, mud in the hair, don't care that I'm rolling around with piglets. Let's see how that connects. A lot of child energy. Ooh. Okay, so we got the Three of Coins. And so, Missy, what I'm getting for you for the Three of Coins, so we have these little piglets rolling around, getting dirty, kids rolling around being dirty, and how I see that connecting to the Three of Coins is just having fun in what you're doing right now. So career-wise, just being able to have that, that like, for the first time, maybe that child-like perspective of like, I'm just going to try this out, and I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and it's just going to be fun because I make it fun. Yeah, I love that. I love that child energy. Just rolling around, just having a good time, just making it fun because you say it's fun. Yeah. So yeah, so Missy, let me know if that resonates. That was definitely a fun energy. It calmed my heart palpitations down. Thank you. Whoever your guide is, helped calm that down. So that was great. You're very welcome. Okay. Sherry Bug. Okay, Miss Sherry Bug D. Okay, so before I even pull any cards, I was seeing bats, but not like how we see scary, like bats come out like in like horror movies, like bats. But I was more seeing like when I go to the zoo and the way that like when I see them like feeding some of the like the baby bats, like the little baby bat formula, and how cute they are and how fragile they are, like their little wings and everything, and they're not the scary monsters they're made out to be in like horror movies. Um, 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 yeah, so that's interesting. So not how we perceive bats to be, but them actually being pretty cute and pretty fragile and needing a lot of care. Okay, so let's see what that means for Miss Sherry Bug. Ooh, ooh. Okay, you had a card fall out. I'm guessing this is your card. Okay, so we have the Knight of Coins. So the Knight of Coins I'm seeing as a person, and although this person is sitting chest out high up on the horse, like I got this, maybe is not the reality of what's going on the inside. So just like bats, there is this this perception that we're given of bats of being scary. We should fear them. If you're going into a haunted house, it's always going to have bats, you know. And just like the Knight of Coins, we see him as like this virile, like chest out, like I got this, babe, you know. But up close, bats are very fragile. They need love and attention, especially when they're injured. And this Knight of Coins, you get up close enough, this person looks like they need a lot more care and attention than they say they're needing. So I'm getting that this is a male in your life, that is putting on airs and being stronger than he really is. He's needing a lot of care and attention. So really listen to this person, and maybe again incorporating some of that imagination and creativity, like that card we pulled earlier. I'm just going to keep that card out. There it is. I think all of us are figuring out ways to incorporate our imagination, but find a creative way to get him to talk and let you know what's really going on. Like, no need to put on airs with me, sir. we need to have a chit chat. So figure out a way for this guy here to express himself, so that you could see what's really going on the inside, because I think this guy's hiding a lot. Not hiding like hiding, scary hiding, but hiding what maybe he sees as weakness or some sort of pain. So yeah. Whew. And again, you guys are, I'm calming down. Okay, so yeah, Sherry Bug, I hope that helps. I think he totally is maybe way too fragile. Yes. This person definitely needs those walls broken down. Just get in a little bit so you can just be like, I'm here for you. I'm here to help. You know, you don't need to be macho man. Okay, so I'm glad that resonated. Again, lots of love to you and this person, this male figure. Okay. Alrighty. Do we have anybody else? A dead cheeky. Okay. Alright, getting all sweaty. You guys get me all sweaty. Okay, dead cheeky. Okay, dead cheeky, you're gonna like this. You know how I'm always giving you the earworm for music? Well, this time I heard what's her name? Nancy Sinatra's These Boots Are Made for Walking. And that's just what they'll do, 'cause one of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Dachiki said no way. Okay. Dachiki. Okay. So Dachiki, you got the 7 of Cups. So now I'm trying to put together these boots are made for walk-in. I'm thinking that finally okay. It seems I keep hearing the word ultimatum. Like somebody has given you this ultimatum of like, well then, you have to do this, or it's like you can't be my friend anymore, or you can't hang out with me anymore, or we're not family anymore, something like that. It's like some sort of ultimatum has been made. And knowing you, like homie don't play that. Homie don't play ultimatums. When I hear the boots are made for walk-in and I see this 7 of Cups, is you have so many other things that you could be doing with your time than, you know, hanging out in this person's negative energy. I'm getting that this is a person. Where this person has made some sort of ultimatum, but it's like, you know what? You've got other choices. You've got other people to hang out with. You've got all these other people that you can talk to and confide in. You don't need like to get into this petty ultimatum stuff, like the stuff that children do. So yeah, these boots are made for walk-in, sweetie, and that's what they're gonna do. So you can keep on walking. You don't need to put up with any of that. As much as you'd want to like get sucked into that, just walk away. So I hope that makes sense. Woo, 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 heart skippy, heart skippy. So there's a lot of intensity in that one. So woo. I'm gonna get some water. So Dead Cheeky, I hope that resonates, and I think she said spooky. Okay. Whew. Yes, Christina, there is a lot of energy today, especially towards the end. Dechiki said, my grandma may be pulling on your ear there. Possibly. Like I said, there is a lot of spirit energy in this room. All right, New Age Lunatic, my homegirl. Okay, New Age Lunatic. So I was seeing a grizzly bear, and at first I was like, oh yeah. So afterwards, Pixie Dust. So New Age Lunatic, I was seeing like this grizzly bear, and at first I was like, whoa, like is this grizzly gonna charge me? But this grizzly like came over, kind of like Wally does, kind of like bonking your arm and like kind of like rubbing like the head on your arm, like wanting to love you and like be friends. And so what was like intimidating actually was pretty gentle. So how can we, oop, that looks like New Age Lunatic's card. Okay, everybody's just getting the knights, by the way. Okay, so New Age Lunatic, I got the Knight of Cups. So this is a lot of knights that we've been pulling. Actually, New Age Lunatic, I see this as you. So I see you as the grizzly. You know, I always hear Dead Cheeky talking about protective mama bear, and that's kind of what I'm getting from you. So like, you know, you can be this fierce person, but you know, when people really get to know you and you know and know the real you, once you have accepted somebody into your circle of friends or somebody to be close to you, Christina said with all the energy, knights do make sense for sure. That you know you can be very loyal, very loving, very gentle, and so I think this is just a reminder that you have a very powerful nature, New Age Lunatic. You know that you can be quite intimidating, but you're not like that all the time. You know when best to use your fierceness. If that's a word. Hello, English teacher. um, and you also know when to let your guard down and to be gentle. And so if you've been struggling, of like, am I being too gentle or am I being too fierce? You are the perfect amount of both. And that's why people love you, and that's why people gravitate towards you. And that's why some people, gravitate away from you, is because you can be fierce. But those people that gravitate away aren't the people that really you want near you. So, so I think this was just kind of like a reminder that you're on the right path. You are just being you is enough, and it's good for a lot of people, and it's good for you. So I hope that makes a lot of sense. I totally dug that. I had a huge grizzly. You're very welcome. Christina said this chat is energizing me today. Yes, me too. I'm like trying to like hide my sweaty. Okay, so Retha. Okay, so Aretha, what I love that grizzly bear. Aretha, what I was seeing was like almost like high tea, like the clanking of like little like a teacup and a little tea saucer, and like just like I hear the clanking of like saucer and teacup, and just like very gentle, like pinky up, like I'm gonna have some tea right now. So let's see how that ties in. Okay. Okay. So Retha, we got the 10 of Swords. So never let him see his sweat. It is invisible. Girls don't sweat. Okay, so Retha, what I was getting with the whole high tea thing and the very like dainty clinking of the teacups and this 10 of Swords, is that you are one classy babe. Yes, girls don't sweat, they glisten. That yes, Retha, you you have class for days. That there's something that's come to an end, and where most people, or is coming to an end, where most people would freak out and go into hysterics, and I want everybody to know like my world's coming to an end, or like this is like, look at me. That people sometimes thrive on the attention of, you know like some people thrive on that, the pity of others, and people feeling sorry for them, where you are not one of those people. So I see where, yes, maybe there's something that is unfortunate that has happened in your life. Something has come to an end. Maybe somebody has passed away, um, but you you do not go into hysterics, or at least you don't let people see that. You don't let people see you lose control, where you maintain that, like that dainty, I have my teacup, like, okay, we're taking this in stride. Okay, what's the next plan? Like, you have that really cool head, and this is definitely an awesome trait of yours, and to continue like this, because a lot of people hold on to that strength that you have, of like, even though you may be hurting inside and like, man, this really sucks, you don't let people see you break down. And so you being able to have that class about you, of like, okay, well, this sucks, what can we do about it? Let's make a plan, instead of wallowing, in our frustrations and our sadness. And so, whew, palpitations for you too. You got some heavy stuff going on as well. um, yeah, I see some real class coming out of you, and a lot of people rely on that. So please continue, because your strength helps others, and also helps set an example of how people should react in certain situations. So, whew, Retha, let me know if that resonates with you. I was getting that there was some heavy energy though. So Okay, so I'm kind of learning about my heart palpitations now, especially when it happens during my live chats, because I haven't had palpitations since like for a couple of weeks now. Um, that when there is a lot of spirit energy, palpitations. When there's heavy energy going on with you guys, like palpitations. So I guess it's just like a little knock knock of like, hey, send this person a lot of love. So Retha, sending you tons and tons of love for whatever is going on right now. Okay, after Retha, Miss New Age Lunatic, who do we have in the Anya Esma. Okay, so Anya, um, I was thinking of like what we say for high jump, you know, so and so is up, so and so on deck, so and so in the hole. So somebody's up, Anya's up, somebody's on deck, someone's in the hole. Okay, Anya. Okay, so, whew, hold on, let me go back here. Sharebeck said, okay, so validation for Tara and the reading she gave me, the guy we were saying is fragile. I just texted him because I hadn't heard from him and he is in the hospital with a serious migraine. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, we're going to be doing a big healing after this. So, yeah, after I pull a card for all you guys, I think we are all in need of some healing energy as well as the people that we hold dear. So I'm going to be doing a big healing. So I got enough energy today. We could do a big healing. Okay, so for Anya, what I was seeing was a hawk or a falcon. Yeah, like a hawk or a falcon being very protective of its nest. So like flapping its wings, like pecking, like stay away from my eggs. So yeah, so I see this very protective hawk or falcon. Whew. Whenever there's so much energy, I get like kind of shaky. I'm like, ugh, my voice gets all shaky. Whew. Okay, Anya. Okay, so you have the Eight of Cups, and what I was getting with that hawk or falcon being very protective of the eggs. What I'm getting with this is that there's something, maybe not people, a habit or something that you have in your life that you are not really ready to let go of yet, that you're fiercely protecting because it means so much to you. And I'm seeing that you're going to have to walk away. Dead Cheeky said, palpitations have been an issue for me as well lately. I've been checked and rechecked, so I know it's spirit now. My guides have shown me how to manage it. Yeah, so I mean, I usually don't have palpitations. It's just when I'm working with spirit. And so, Anya, so I was seeing is that yes, unfortunately, there is something that you're going to have to move away from. Bye, Missy. Thank you for coming by. And it's not going to be easy because these people or this habit or this thing, you're really attached to it. And you're willing to fight tooth and nail for it right now. But I'm seeing as something being out of your control where you're going to have to leave it. Whew. And there is some palpitations because it's very hard and it's going to make me cry. So I'm feeling like there's some really sad energy built into this reading for you. And to just know that you're this feeling that you'll have and like this whole thing is not going to last forever, but it's just going to be maybe kind of crappy for now. And so whatever this event is, yes, you're going to have to walk away. You're going to have to move away from it, and just know that I am sending you tons of love, whatever this is, because it's hitting me right in the heart and I feel like I want to cry. So yes, yeah. So Anya, I hope that that resonates, and definitely please stick around because I would like to send a lot of. I'm going to be doing a big healing, and I want you to be a part of it as well, because I think you're going to need it. Whew. Okay. Whew. All right. So yeah. So lots of love to you, Anya. Whew. Tajiki said, "Okay, I'll be okay. I just needed whoo." Honey said, "So sorry. No, it's okay. Thank you so much. I'll have to think about it and what it could be. I have a suspicion." Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's probably nothing that's happened yet, but just yeah, just I mean, look into it. I'm gonna send you lots of love. And don't worry, I like. There's so many emotions when I do my readings that it's like it's easy for me to cry, so don't worry. Okay. Did we have anybody else? I know that Pixie Dust was last, but um, Natalie Fokema. Okay. So Natalie. Okay. Or Fokima. Yeah. Okay. Natalie said she's about to have eye surgery on Friday. Oh. Well, I wish you well in your eye surgery. What I was seeing was big grassy field and one pink flower in the middle of excuse me in the middle of the field. So just like a gentle breeze and like this little flower is just kind of like blowing in the breeze, but it's the only flower in this big beautiful green field. So let's see. Pink flower in the middle of a green field. And Natalie said she's having eye surgery on Friday. Whew. Okay, that is too many cards. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay, so Natalie, we got temperance. And so for me, temperance has always been a balance, a give and take. And seeing this one lone flower in the middle of a green field, to me is not the balance. And whoa, okay, so you're just talking about eye surgery. Okay, so no, this is going to be really good for you. I mean, obviously, my dad's had eye surgery. My stepmom to correct their vision, things like that, and cataracts. And when I see this one lone pink flower in the middle of the field, is like it's all alone. It needs the two. Temperance is two. It needs that balance. And so I don't know if this like eye surgery is something that you've been dreading, but I'm seeing it as being very beneficial for you. That it's going to restore that balance that maybe you haven't had in your life for quite some time. And so, although I mean, I probably wouldn't be too stoked about eye surgery either. Like that's like eyes are very sensitive, and like I have like a thing about eyeballs. Like so just knowing that when you go into this eye surgery, everything's going to be fine. Like, no worries. I know that's probably easier said than done, because I'm not the one having the eye surgery, but I just get this overwhelming sense that this is something that, I don't think you've had this balance, when it comes to your eyes in quite some time. And so this eye surgery it's going to be fine. That's all I can say is it's going to be fine. The recovery is going to be fine. And eventually you're going to, I like the little peepers. Eventually you're going to feel a sense of balance that you haven't in a while. And so this is going to translate into other areas of your life, not just your eyes, but this is going to be the catalyst for making corrections, so to speak, in other areas. So that lone pink flower will be many pink flowers later on, but right now it's just a lone pink flower because that correction has to be made. So I'm seeing this as a good thing. It's a good thing for you. And like I said, I got the rose quartz today for us. So Natalie, I hope that makes sense, that it's going to be a catalyst for other things. Yes, and best of wishes for your eye surgery. So sending you, well, we're going to be doing a big healing, so I'm going to be sending you a lot of love, and it'll be fine. So thank you so much. This is so helpful and positive. Yes, so I mean, there weren't even any heart palpitations with that one, that this is just the beginning of balance in your life. And so I'm not saying this is going to be fun. I'm just saying that everything's going to work out. Like, it'll be okay. I can say this with firm positivity. Okay. Did we have anybody else? Ooh, we have a lot of readings today. And we're going to do a big healing. Hey, Wally. Oh, Wally's bonking the stand right now. He's giving you guys love. Come here, Wally. People want to say hello. Okay. Wally, say hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, you need the pink tummy love. Pink tummy! Pink tummy! Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry Bug. Okay, so Pixie. Sparkly mermaid face. Yes, Wally. Wally and his pink tummy. Okay, so Pixie Dust. My homegirl in the UK. Okay, so Pixie Dust, very odd. Well, not odd. I mean, I'm odd. When I was trying to get an image for you or a song, my hearing went out on my right ear. Yeah, it's my right side. So it was like a muffled. I mean, I can hear now, but it was like temporarily, it was like muffled. So something like muffled hearing, like not being able to hear clearly. Let's see what that means. Ooh. You like that? Card just flipped over in the deck. Okay. Okay. 3 of Rods. And I like how the artist in this deck said that the reason she put like odd colors on the people in here and like took away the heads was so that we could superimpose like what we wanted to see in the cards, like who this could be in our lives, you know, instead of having like, oh, this is whoever. I thought that was kind of cool. But Pixie Dust, when I heard or didn't hear, got the muffled hearing, and here we have the 3 of Rods. I'm seeing that there is an opportunity that's being opened up to you, actually several opportunities, and it seems like Spirit's been trying to guide you in a certain direction, being like, hey, look over here. But I think that you may be a little hesitant to trust your intuition and trust what Spirit is trying to say and to guide you. I mean, you get to make your ultimate choices because, you know, we have free will, so we don't have to do anything. But Spirit has been trying to help you out a little bit, like, hey, what if we do this? You know, then you don't have to take that long, windy road. I got a shortcut for you over here. So I'm hearing like, they got the shortcut. They're trying to help you out. But with the muffled hearing, I think that you're trying to, sometimes maybe that might scare you a little bit. So you shut it down a little bit and try not to listen to those messages. Because maybe, I don't know, you're not sure if it's coming from a genuine source or if you think it's all up in your head. If you're like, I don't know if this is really Spirit talking to me. So this is confirmation for you that the messages that you have been receiving about a certain opportunity, a certain path to take, they were genuine and they were real, and they are real, and Spirit's not giving up on you. So don't think that like you've pissed them off for some reason. They're gonna stop talking to you. They're gonna keep trying to communicate, but in ways that are right for you. So you need to let Spirit, in what ways are okay to communicate, like how do you want them to talk to you, you know, what would be the least scary, I guess. Whew, yeah. Ooh, kind of heavy for you too. Yeah, so you're definitely being guided, definitely being given some messages, and it's okay to open up yourself to those messages. But maybe just let spirit in what way is the okay way to let them communicate with you, so that you know for sure that that's them and that it's not like all up in your head. So this was just confirmation for you, Pixie Dust, and let me know if that resonates at all. Okay, and so New Age Lunatic said that that was the last person. So, my goodness, we've been on for 129 minutes. That's because you guys are awesome. And I gotta go run some errands. But luckily, tomorrow is no school because it's Memorial Day. So I'm gonna go over to my grandfather's gravesite, and he's buried over at the memorial, Miramar Memorial Cemetery. So where all the military officers are buried. Go see my grandpa, who passed away a few years ago, Lieutenant Commander in the U.S. Navy. Thank you. And then all my relatives, like, well, actually both my grandfathers were in the U.S. Navy. My Filipino grandpa, however, could not rise to the ranks of yes, Miramar, Top Gun, filmed here in San Diego, by the way. Yes. My other grandpa, who I never got to meet, my Filipino grandpa, he was a cook in the Navy, because back at that time, during the 30s and the 40s and so forth, if you were African American or if you were anything but Caucasian, you could not. It was very hard for you to rise through the ranks. So he was designated as cook, and so another way for him to like make money on the ship was to box. So my grandpa was a boxer, and we have several pictures of him boxing. And so my dad, my dad's always loved boxing, but like he could never be a boxer because I don't think my dad would ever want to mess up his pretty face. But like when I used to do kung fu, the instructors used to say that, because I have, I'm a thin girl, yes, but I have a really strong back. Like I can crank out pull-ups like nobody's business. And not every girl can do that. Like you kind of have to be built for pull-ups. And I don't know if many people know that. Like some people, you can get trained to do at least a couple, but it's actually the way you're structured. Like there's certain exercises some people physically cannot do. And the way my back was built was built for strength and power. And so my back is built like a boxer. So I actually do have really powerful punch. So I don't know why I'm sharing that with you guys, but yeah, I just sidetracked. Anyway, yeah, let's do this healing. So wherever you guys are, you don't have to stop what you're doing. If you are out in the garden right now, if you are washing dishes, if you are folding laundry, if you're waiting on the laundry, if you're accidentally left your cell phone on and you're actually taking a nap while you listen to this live chat, like it doesn't matter. This healing will reach you. If you don't want it, all you have to do is just be conscious of that, of like, no, I don't want that right now. And that's not going to hurt my feelings because, some people are just very protective of their energy, and that's cool. But if you do want this energy, my Knight of Pentacles name is Jeremy. So we'll definitely, putting out some healing to him as well. So if you would like to be open to this healing, just consciously make that like, I am open, for this healing, and you don't have to stop what you're doing right now. And hey, Wally, you gonna help? You gonna help? Oh. And just also be open, for the people in your lives that you would also like this healing to go to them. So, have in mind whoever you want to have in mind right now. Maybe it's a bunch of people. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's Jeremy. Maybe it's our friend Natalie, who's going off to get her eye surgery on Friday. Healing kitty energy, yes, with Wally back there. But yeah, let's just keep in mind all the people that we want to receive this, as well as ourselves. So I'm gonna have my rose quartz for this healing energy. And do I want something else? Yes, I'm gonna have a few different stones. New Age Lunatic said she will definitely take some healing and send that out to my dog who's a little poor right now. Okay, so yes. So, and hey, and if you want to post here right now the names, and you don't have to even say the relationship to you, just post names, animals, people in your lives that you also want to receive the energy so that their name is out there and that the rest of us can maybe tap into that. So while I'm sending out the healing energy and you guys are receiving, yeah, let's just put their names out there. So you put all their names, and I'll just make the conscious effort that my energy is going to them. Well, it's not my energy, it's energy of source. So through my heart chakra, because that's where it's sent. So I always see it coming through my crown, through my heart chakra, down my arms, throughout my hands. Okay. So for this one, because I want this one to be a little bit more powerful than I normally do, I am bringing in, well, my rose quartz, my apophyllite for spirit energy, and amethyst for peace and connection. And I have them just near my lap. Okay. So I'm sending it out through my heart this time. So a little bit different than me putting up my hands this time. So it's just a different way for me to do this. All right, you guys. Hopefully, you're able to feel a little bit of that healing energy. Um, I was just trying to send it to as many people as possible, and just trying to feel from you guys, all the people that are connected to you, that you wanted this energy to go to you. So, wow, that was really trippy. So you're very welcome, Sherry Bug. That Cheeky, you're very welcome. You guys are all very welcome. Um, wow, that was pretty trippy. A whole different things of energy going on. Um, the way that meditation I had before with the whole like triangle in the chest, like that thing like lit up, and like there was this energy going up and this like little blue light like coming out of my forehead, and the pink coming out of my heart, and whoa. All these beings came in. My Native American guy that hangs out with me for healings, he was like playing his flute, and um yeah, and then this massive being that I know to be Anastasia came and like sat in me and was just like boom, and I was like whoa, and then was like white out, like it was so light, it was like pretty awesome. I was like whoa, and then I was like sucking in too, so I was like taking like fear and anger, sadness, and just creating this like muck pile next to me. It was like this black tar muck pile, and I was just like trying to draw it out while I was putting light in, and that was trippy, you guys. I dug it. I dug it though. So Anya said thank you so much. Already picked up a pen and started writing down some habits to let go of. Well, very good. Denchiki said it made her face tingle. Natalie said it felt amazing. Sherry Bug's hands were vibrating. So yeah, I think these were really awesome stones to use for this healing. Because I had in my left hand was the rose quartz, and then in my right hand was the apophyllite, or I had my hand on top of the apophyllite and the amethyst. So yeah, there we go. Dachiki said earlier on, I could see that your third eye was wide open. Salt bath time. Yes, I am actually going to be taking a bath tonight. So thank you guys so much for showing up. This has been a wonderful live chat, and every time I come on, I'm like, well, maybe we'll just be on for like half an hour because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And then we're on for like 2 hours. Sherry Bug also has, oh, she had her rose quartz in her right hand, so that's good. Have a lovely Sunday, everyone. Yes, and to you too, New Age Lunatic. And the clothed dude. I love it. All right. So you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and wherever you are in the world, I'm sending love to all military alive, military who has passed for being the brave men and women that they are. So this Memorial Day, lots of love to everyone all over the world, and lots of love to you guys, and whatever you guys are going through in your lives, and all the people that need loving, just know I'm sending you that love. I did a little bit of a love spell last night, and I'll do another one before I take my salt bath tonight. Just another little boost for you guys. Whew, got a little dizzy. There are a lot of spirits in here, so I also have to clear my home, by the way. And tell your friends and family to go home. All right, so you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to check out my website for the meetup in July. Remember, it's totally free. I would love to have you guys. And don't forget to submit those pictures for the Oracle deck. Last day is June 6th. So head to my website and click on Oracle deck. So kittensweightsandtarot.com. All right, see you guys later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.